Good morning. How do you tell if it's on? Oh, is it on?
It sure is. It sure is. Why don't you kick us off?
Do you want to start already? I thought you wanted to give it a minute.
We can get started.
All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
You love that.
I sure do. It's my favorite thing of the day. Absolutely. A little gloomy outside and windy. You guys are all the champions that decided to show up today, right? Yeah. Let's give a big round for you guys showing up today. Nice work. All right, so we're going to kick this stakeholders meeting off. It's 2/22/22.
Right?
And you didn't know that on a Tuesday.
The rest of the month, every day, like 2/22/22. If you do it backwards, it will make the same date for the rest of the month, right?
You just blew my mind with that math. Yeah, it really did.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. Appreciate that. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to hand it over to Annette. We got a jam-packed stakeholders meeting for everybody today, so let's kick it off.
Yeah, we've got so much information. I promised you guys that I would bring you a lead generating opportunity each week, but I have a lot of special guests, so I'm not giving you guys a ton today, but I want to remind you that it's all about consistency. It truly is a numbers game. And I mean, we've got 18,000 agents right now and consistently growing. I've got my new agents coming in, signing up with the division, and they're being told still 6 weeks before that license is going to come in. So the competition is steep. The listings obviously are hard to find and limited, and so it's really important for you guys to stay off of the roller coaster. And the only way you're going to stay off the roller coaster, when I say the roller coaster, I mean we're great, we're up here, we're at the top of the roller coaster, it's fun, we're in escrow, and then escrow closes, we're at the bottom, and what do? We start scrapping for business again because we forgot while we were at the top of the roller coaster that we needed to stay consistent. And so I'm going to ask you guys one more time, and I hope that someone has the answer this time because I was very disappointed a couple weeks ago when I said, how much time should you be committing to growing your business and adding to your database every week?
Prospecting. How much
How
prospecting?
often should be prospecting?
How often and how many hours per day? 3 to 4 hours a day. Who thinks that's pretty good? Got a couple
great.
guys raising their hands.
That's
Ernest knows, right? So what are some 3 to 4 hours is a lot, isn't it? What about 2 hours a day?
5 days a week.
5 days a week?
2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Just keep that number in your head, you guys, because if you do that, you will be successful, and I don't care what kind of market we're in. If you consistently put people into your database, and remember, it's truly a numbers game. You have a great open house. You get 4 prospects out of it. 2 of them can't get qualified. 1 of them goes to another agent. You've got 1. You do an open house the next weekend. You get 4 people again. Same thing happens. You get 1. Now you've got 2 solid clients. And it's the same thing if you're making phone calls, doing social media posts. You just need to stay consistent, build the trust, and you'll add to the database. And so that's my tip to grow your business this week. Do you want to add to that?
I think it's a great tip. We just came off a holiday weekend. Now's Tuesday, right? Let's get in the hunt from Tuesday to Friday and get those prospecting hours in. And it's just having conversations, guys. Don't overthink it. So you can do it in the open houses, prospecting on the dialers, getting in the KV Core ponds, having your SOI, reaching out. We talk about it all the time. Text, call, email. These are all ways to generate business, and the top producers at this office are doing it consistently. Okay, so just keep it in mind, and please stay in the hunt. 18,000 realtors are in town right now. We go down to Key Realty School, and they send me a list every month. The list just keeps growing and growing, so the competition is fierce, like Annette said.
Yep. If you guys didn't have breakfast, it's in there. It'll be there for you when the meeting is over. But let's thank Jennifer Whitman from FGMC for this wonderful breakfast. Come on down, Jen. She's got so much great information. I'm not even going to lead in. I'm just going to let you go.
Yes, please.
Oh, yes.
Hi guys, happy 2/2/2/2.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Anyways, I am Jennifer Whitman with FGMC Mortgage. For those of you that do not know me, or our little crew over here, we are the in-house lender for resolutions, so we're always here for you guys. But I am, like Annette said, a couple things that I'm going to touch on. The mortgage market is pretty much going to shrink this year by probably about 35%. Basically, like from 4 trillion to about 2.6 trillion this year. And the reason is, as we've talked about numerous times, interest rates are going up. So refi, rate and term refinances pretty much are going to be extinct. People are not going to be looking to refinance their properties just rate and terms. Purchases and cash out refinances, yes, those are going to be what we will be doing mostly this year. The other thing that we've talked about is the non-QM products. And there we go. So that market is going to triple this year, okay? Pretty much if you've got investors, go after the investors right now. And the reason I'm going to bring that up is this here is all of our non-QM products. Non-QM, remember, is your non-qualified mortgage. That's like anything out of the conforming Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA loans, okay? We have tons of them. We're really only gonna touch on one for right now, which is the Visionary. The Visionary program is where investors can qualify on just the rents, not their income, okay? It's awesome. It's a great product. It does not have to be a first-time investor. So if they're a first-time investor, that's allowed. And loan amounts up to $3 million, and we'll go to a 640 credit score. Okay. So basically, gross rent is considered with a no vacancy factor. So we can use 75% of their rents, and they can qualify for investment properties.
So let me touch on that a little bit. The non-QM loan she's talking about, if I'm an investor and I have a low FICO score and I don't have a ton of money in the bank, all I need is about 20 to 25% down, and that's it. They will take the rent from that tenant and qualify you based on that. So you're not going through taxes, you're not going through P&Ls, you're not going through all these bank statements. We're not going through income calculations, debt to income ratios. All that stuff gets put to the side just because the tenant is basically qualifying to pay that mortgage for you. So that is a very good loan. It's not common, and more like this are rolling out with FGMC right now. So if you have an investor that isn't cash heavy or doesn't have the credit or doesn't want to be beat up on a loan, these are the people that you want to reach out to and say, we have this fantastic loan where it's only qualifying on your rents. So that's what you want to keep in your mind when you're having that conversation with your investors.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. Any questions on that? Anything? Yes.
Is there a number of units that the loan's limited to, like you purchase a 6 to 10 unit apartment complex?
No. So for residential, it's up to 4. Anything above 4, then you're getting into commercial. Yeah. So and it does say up to 4 unit properties. No, you're fine. I know this is very small. I know. But yeah, good question. It's up to 4 plexes. Yes.
Are you going to be teaching this?
Yes, I will go. Yes, and we're going to touch on my mortgage 101.
Yeah, so you can always ask questions. She's going to teach on the class that's coming up, and now's a good time for me to segue into, there's about 10 different QM loans, and they do get a little bit complicated, especially if you're newer in the business. I'm waiting for FGMC to put a training in the calendar where we're going to spend about an hour and a half via Zoom with one of the presidents at FGMC, and they're going to go through all the non-QM loans that are going to be coming up very soon. So I'd love for all of you guys to attend it, because you really got to know the ins and outs of these loans, because it'll help you find and attract new business that you couldn't do before, because you can leverage these loans.
Yeah, these are great products to have in your back pocket for people that do not qualify within the realm of the conforming type of loans and stuff like that, which is a lot of people right now, especially with COVID and self-employed. And by the way, this flyer is available for you guys. If you want this flyer, we have a marketing department that is dedicated directly just to us, the Vegas Henderson team. So if you guys want this to market in your open houses or Facebook or social media, whatever you want, we can also print this out for you. Yes.
Is it possible to co-brand that flyer?
Yes, and yeah, we can co-brand absolutely for you. Anything we can, any of our flyers we can co-brand for you. These products are going to be about 5% interest rates right now. So,
Interest
yeah,
rates
they're-
are always going to be a hair
Yeah.
higher based on the non-QM. But at the same time, it's worth it. But
Yeah.
don't let somebody go, oh, rates are at 3.5. This is at 5. I don't want to go that route. They'll see the benefit for the higher interest rate, and the interest rate's higher because these are riskier loans, right? We're giving loans that people we're not so sure of, and they could default. But the small increase in that interest rate will keep people invested in getting those loans.
Yes, that's very true. Real quick, another thing I want to touch on is another idea for some investors. So I know we've been asked before, hey, do you guys do home equity lines of credits? Do you guys do second mortgages? Before, I know like me, I was sending them off to the bank or to the credit union. Hey, go ahead, do your home equity loan, go do a second, come back, and then we can do a investment property using that money. Well, we can do those through FGMC. So one-stop shop. Literally, they can come to us, they can do a home equity loan. Rates are going up, cash out refis are going to be gone. Or I'm sorry, those are not going to be gone, but what they can, rate and refis will be gone. Rate and term, what I wanted to say was, instead of doing a full-blown cash out refinance on the total amount, like I know my rate right now is 2.99. I have a ton of equity in my house. I don't want to do a cash out refinance and that total amount. So what I can do is take that equity on a home equity loan, have a little bit of a higher interest rate on that amount, and use that to buy in investment properties, stuff like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so we now can do that through FGMC, not through, they don't have to go through their bank or anything like that. So I
So-
wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, since COVID happened, home equity lines of
Yeah.
credit have been extremely difficult to find. A lot of banks stopped doing them. And now if you want to pull some money out of your house because it went up 50% in the last 2 years, now we could just do an in-house home equity line of credit. Pull that $200K out. You can do renovations with it, or you can go buy another property with that money. So now people have access to the equity in their house, which wasn't easy to get for the last couple of years. So that's what that program is going to be about with FGMC.
Yes, and that's great because we can just do one-stop shop. Everything's done through us. One last thing I'm going to touch on
Go for it. The floor is yours.
you guys probably aren't familiar with what a manual underwrite is. So what that means is that, and I know I've brought it up in Mortgage 101, so again, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I recommend all of you guys attending. Every lender has to run their loans through what's called DU. It's an automated underwriter, okay? We get an approval, and then we can go ahead and their buyers can start shopping. If conventional loans, if we cannot run it through, and I know we've run loans through DU a million times, we're like, why can we not get an approval, right? So now what that means is the underwriter can actually manually underwrite that loan. It does not have to get approved through the automated underwriter. That's a big deal, and I'm going to tell you why. FHA and VA were the only ones that allowed us to do that. There's no other lender, and I've worked for other lenders, that will do conventional manual underwrites. Huge, okay? There's a little bit of overlays, meaning that like under a 680, they can go to a 36% debt to income ratio. So that means what they make to what they owe. Or anything above 720, a 43% debt to income. So if I cannot get DU to run for some odd reason, we can still do the loan, as long as they're within those debt to income ratios.
Because you're going to ship it off to your direct underwriter that
Yep.
you guys own. And they're going to say, well, automatically this one wouldn't have went through, but
Yep.
this is still a good borrower. for these reasons. So if you shop them at 100 different places, they're going to get denied. But with the manual underwriting, they can go in there and say, hey, let's approve this person for this reason, and the loan gets approved.
Yep.
So if you get denials, don't just think that your buyer's done and leave them. Bring that loan over to FGMC, do a manual underwrite, and now you got an approved loan and your buyer's back in the game to purchase a property. So again, great reasons to send the business to FGMC because of how they're set up. They own their own internal underwriting and processing, which a lot of these other lenders and banks do not have. And that was the main reason why we went from SWBC to FGMC, is to give you guys more products, but also have all these little guidelines and stuff over there with our underwriters just to get you guys more business. So keep that in mind when you're looking at qualifying your buyers.
Yeah, that's huge, because otherwise we would have to turn them to an FHA loan. Well, obviously with purchase prices going up, you know, so it's huge. Any questions on that? Or okay, Mortgage 101's on Thursday.
Let's give a big round for Jen, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. But did you want to touch on? I was going to talk about it.
About your class?
Yeah.
Class on Thursday, 1 o'clock. Jennifer teaches a great lending class. And I know that sounds funny, great and lending, all these big words that she's using, but she'll break it down for you. And to sum up everything that she just said, when you're talking to people out there, just know that you've got a great partner that has a lot of great products and a lot of things that other lenders can't do. So if you're talking to someone that says they couldn't get qualified, or they couldn't get equity line, or they couldn't get refinanced, they still might want to talk to FGMC. So set them up with one of your lender partners. Thanks, Jen. We also have Annie back from Landmark today, and she's going to talk about wire fraud. So exciting.
Is wire fraud a thing?
Yes, wire fraud is a thing. Hey guys, I'm Annie from Landmark Title. So I just wanted to talk about the importance of letting your buyers know about wire fraud. It's important to have your buyer call the escrow company, before they send any earnest money or closing funds. There are a lot of scammers that hack into the escrow transaction, and what they do is they sit back and they listen to phone calls and emails, and they actually watch when I'm sending out wiring instructions, and that's when they send their attack to the buyer. So it's super important to always have the buyer call in and confirm the Landmark routing and account numbers. And it's also important for you realtors not to accept wiring instructions from escrow. I have a couple agents say, oh, just send me the wiring instructions, I'll send it to my client. But we have a very strong firewall, whereas like your Yahoo account doesn't. So it's just super important to have wiring instructions come directly from me, sending it directly to the client, and then I also call the buyer and we confirm the routing and account numbers. I've only had one successful attempt at my last company, and I was there for 5 years, so it's always important to call before you send any money.
Yeah, this is really important. I don't know if you guys remember the end of last year, there was a young couple that bought they were buying their first home in California, $800,000 in cash, and they wired their funds and no one knows where it went. And they didn't get their house and the money was gone. This happens a lot in real estate. Everyone, all the hackers want to get into this because $800,000, that's a quick job, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you're talking about wire fraud, you're using the wire fraud disclosure, and reiterate what Annie's saying, that they follow the directions of their escrow officer.
Yeah, these hackers, honestly, they're so smart. They'll take like our PDF version of our wiring instructions and they'll just edit. It's always sending to some random guy, and we're a company, so why would you send money to a guy? But if you have an elderly client, they might not understand. So these hackers are very smart. They have fake names. They make it look like it's me, but it's really not. So it's just important to talk to your buyers.
What's the question? So, for example, that $800,000, it's gone. What is the recourse for the buyer at that scenario?
So that file where it was successful, the buyer had to contact their bank, and their bank was contacting the receiving bank. They actually got 80% of it back, which is honestly unheard of. So they just have to call their bank.
And how long did that take?
That took about 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
and they got
Oh, that's
80%
good.
back?
Yeah.
You should still be scared, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? You should be really
Just kidding,
scared.
they got 0.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't think that was gonna be the process so quickly,
Yeah.
but to get that money back. Anyways, it is important, and you gotta think in the beginning, when you're opening escrow and getting your EMD deposited, get them in contact with Annie, and then closing funds, when you're looking over the CD, and you're getting ready to wire funds again, make sure they connect with Annie direct. I've seen it before, and every title company is on alert, and I think this is happening way more often than it was in the previous years.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good information. Amy, you have a quick question?
If your buyers are local, you can also just have them go to Annie's office, get the wiring instructions in their hand, and there is zero chance that they can take their money.
That's true.
Correct.
It's a good way to do it. Are you guys receiving checks from clients for earnest
Yeah,
money
we
and
can do
closing
checks,
funds?
cashier's checks, personal checks.
Is there a hold on personal checks by any chance?
Yeah. there's
7
usually
days?
7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days?
So they
Okay.
always prefer a cashier's check. They will do a personal check. They won't accept it if it's cash, quick close, but
Yeah, you can't walk in with $100 bills, but
Right.
cashier's check, guys, is pretty safe to do as well. So, awesome. Thank you for the information, Annie. One big clap for her, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Annie.
Nice work.
We're going to actually have something a little bit different today. We've got Amy Meadle, and she is going to show you guys some closing gift options from Pampered Chef.
Awesome. I want to start by saying we support our agents and their avenues for other businesses, and we've seen car washes, Pampered Chef. We have a lot of things. If you guys are interested in getting in front of our agents and being on our concierge page and Element for anything that you guys are also doing, be my guest. Just talk to Annette, and we'll be more than happy to get you in front of the crew. And look at what we have here today. I feel like I'm on a cooking show. Right? I would love to be on one of those. That'll be great. I'll lay it on to you. Go for it, Amy. What do you got? Let me get you a microphone really quick, though. Okay? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. There you are. Floor is
Awesome.
yours.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. You all know I have been doing Pampered Chef for going on 11 years. It's an awesome company. It is owned by Warren Buffett. We are not going anywhere. We are not going away. All of our products have warranties. Some of them are lifetime warranty. So they make absolutely awesome closing gifts. They also make really great pop-by gifts. So I just want to give a couple quick stats. We have over 377 products, and that doesn't even include our replacement products. 12 items on our outlet right now. We have items under $5, 110 of those right now. $10, we have 65 of them. Under $25, 77 of them. 152 gift sets, 20 different small appliances, 189 kitchen tools, and 58 pantry items. These are amazing, and there's a number of things you can do where you're actually making money on your own closing gifts. So I know I have 10 minutes. I could go on for 2 hours very easily. So when the meeting is over, this will still be up here. I also have a little display over there where I've got some of the retired items that people can actually do cash purchases. Who here loves cold calls other than Zach?
I know Ernest does.
Okay, so Zach and Ernie, listen or not, everyone else needs to pay attention to this. If you don't like doing cold calls, but you have a favorite charity, or somebody that you're calling or a group you're calling has a favorite charity, any organization, set up a Pampered Chef fundraiser. It doesn't matter. It just has to be an entity, not an individual person that you're doing fundraising for. So Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, American Cancer Society, Animal Foundation, West Care, the Center, Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth. It doesn't matter. It just has to be an organization. Then you're not calling that person yet again. Are you going to list your house? Are you going to buy your house? Hey, I'm doing a fundraiser for the Animal Foundation. Do you have any interest? Do you have any support? Do you need anything for your kitchen, for your house, for entertaining? Then lead that into another part of the conversation. Makes it much more casual, much more friendly. Build your mutual interests. Works very effectively for those who have baggage. Zach has none. He has zero fear calling anybody. For most of the rest of us, it's like, oh, I don't want to make one more cold call. That gives you an awesome reason, and you're working on something for a good cause that's close to your heart. One of the things that I set up for realtors for this brokerage is your own party to host. That does not mean you are committing necessarily to doing a live Pampered Chef party or even a virtual party. You are setting up so you are earning free Pampered Chef products when you are sending out your closing gifts or you are purchasing your pop-by gifts. So you earn however many free you want, and you don't have to close it out in any specific time frame. You order your products for your closer. It doesn't matter if it's your buyer, your seller, whatever. I just sent for Christmas, for the holidays, about 15 holiday gift boxes. They're the taste bud boxes. I've got the display over there for that. But all of those clients got those. They got recipes, they got seasonings, they got a little scraper. It was a beautiful gift. Every single one of them called me one more time for you to get to touch that client and ask for referrals. So lots of good things there. I've got the chart up here too for when you host a party, what it is that you're getting for free. And there's a whole bunch of different sets that are literally only available to hosts. You are eligible for those. I also put together packets for you, and you're going to get entered into a raffle for $200 in free Pampered Chef products from me when you come and get your packet today. So make sure, and that goes for all of our lenders, that goes for title, that goes for everybody. And then if you want to purchase additional raffle tickets, you're welcome to do that as well. February. This was the perfect month. There's been a couple of delays in my being able to come up here, which we moved into this beautiful brand new office. We've had so many events going on. It's been really awesome. It actually ended up being to your benefit that it got pushed to this month. Because if you decided you wanted to join Pampered Chef and make commission off of all of your closing gifts and pop-by gifts, it's only $25 this month. That is not the usual case. And again, I've got on this display what the kits usually are, but there's a small kit that's for that. As a consultant, you can also get huge discounts on samples and supplies, again, that you could be using for your pop-by gifts. So up here, I've got the display. This is a display only. Some of the stuff over there, well, all the stuff over there is going to be for sale, and I'm going to be here all day. Any questions? I know that was a lot that I just threw at everybody.
Yeah, do you help finding the charities so people can use that? Is that part of Pampered Chef, or is that an idea that you created?
It's a part of Pampered Chef. The funds end up going directly to the charity when the event closes. Anybody that wants to do that, I can help you either pick a charity, find the charity, enter the charity's tax ID number. They do not have to be a 501c3 either. They just have to be an entity, not an individual person. I've done that fundraising for school teams, for the Sandy Valley cheerleaders, for ice skating teams, for football teams. As long as it's, and even if you had somebody who was an individual, I can talk to you about how we work around that one.
Okay, and then, so that's big for events and networking. Can you brand anything to your real estate career? Or is this more, there's a hard line, it's Pampered Chef, then you're an agent with Resolution?
This stuff, well, you could pay someone independently to brand it, but my suggestion is this. When I bought my first house 18 years ago, my realtor, I won't say her name, gave me a stinky candle. This after looking at houses for months and my having stories of my cats and my Maine Coon who lit his tail on fire, and that was the last time I'd ever had a candle lit. In absolutely no way did I want the stinky candle. So you do not need to have your name branded and constantly in front of someone for them to remember that you bought them that set of cookware. You bought them the quick cooker. You bought them whatever it is, the batter bowl, the scraper. I have people who will comment on my social media all the time. Hey, I just used that cutting board again. I just used this mixer. Whatever it is, they're going to remember you without you having to be in their face. I think it's a much more subtle and professional way to remind them that you're here. And it's a great way to reach out and touch them. If you've given them like pantry items, sauces, seasonings, just call and go, hey, what recipes have you made? I can give you ebooks and recipes, and every season you have something new to be able to send them. You're not sending them the stale postcards that I keep getting at the McGraw house that I bought in Pahrump with the realtors saying, oh, here's your cookie recipe. I'm sorry, my cookies are way better than that. So.
It's all encompassing. I don't know how many of you guys are working with past clients and sending them gifts. And then if you're closing on a house with somebody, are you giving them gifts? And then throughout the year, in the years to follow, are you giving anybody any gifts to remind them that you're an agent? And what are the stats on past closed clients? How many of them go back to the realtor to buy another house? I think like 70 to 80% of past closed clients don't go back to their original realtor because they just lost track of who that person was, and the agent didn't follow up often enough. So if you kind of take each one of these categories and meet with Amy and figure out something that's extremely cost effective, your new buyers, your new sellers, and your past closed clients could almost be on this Tupperware / drip of products, right?
Pampered Chef.
Pampered Chef products coming in. And they'll think about you. If for $150 you spent, you'll get a new client and you'll get an $8,000 commission check. So to be honest with you, it will work. And I scoured the internet and the universe for past closed client gifts in something that we can bring in-house and work with, and there's nothing out there. I am so surprised there's not a company that took this over yet. So internally, I think this is a manual way that we should do it, and I encourage everybody to check in with Amy. Corley raised their hand because I have a feeling you did something like this.
I use this company. It's kind of small. It's out of California, but it's called Client Giant. Oh, yeah. And it's pretty nice. It costs $100, and it basically mails anybody I sign up for a little present every quarter. So I'm constantly getting calls like, thanks so much. Oh my gosh, that's great. Like this month's gift was like a little, like a weighted, you know those little weighted blankets? Yeah. It was like a weighted mask for sleeping, you know.
And it works, right?
It does work.
Yeah. Getting those gifts out, no matter what they are. I mean, the challenge is get off your butt, put something together, and get it to the clients. And then there's I guess you said about 1,000 different products we're talking about here today.
Yeah. Current catalog, 377 products. You've got great things to choose from. A couple other quick things. So twice a year, we have this little season's best that comes out. I have past ones that are in here for sale, but these are $2 each. So for an envelope, a little recipe book, you write a note in the front of it, and that can be you for whatever holiday or their birthday or whatever. Then every time they grab this recipe book, they have the nice little note from you in the front of it. And again, it doesn't have to be, hey, I'm a realtor, you have to use me. It's, hey, happy birthday, I know you enjoy cooking. Or, hey, I know you loved this house because we could barbecue in it and have your family gatherings. Again, it's just a much nicer, softer touch that's going to make it more likely that they're going to remember you. The other thing is you don't have to choose what's going in their kitchen. Do a gift certificate. Just talk to me, do a gift certificate. We send out the current catalog with a note with your business card saying, this is just, I wanted to thank you so much. I enjoyed spending time with you, whatever you want to put on that cover letter. And then they get to pick. So if they wanted the barbecue set, they didn't end up with something that's the equivalent of an Instapot. So you get to personalize it, and if you don't know what their tastes are, you take care of it. So I also, so a couple other things you might want to use the pop buys, like the little toaster tongs. These are all going to be laying up here. Cake tester, little chocolate drizzler, citrus peelers, all of this stuff. And then keep in mind Easter's coming up. That's why I have this little, it's empty because you have to decide what's going in your Easter basket for your clients. So again, just let me know what you need. Any other questions? And the nice thing if you're doing a gift certificate is they get to choose. So if they need a batter bowl, they need a mixer, they need an air fryer, any of those things.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank
All
you,
right.
Amy. Let's
Thank
give her
you.
a big round, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. So stick around, talk to Amy. She'll have this stuff up for today and take a look at everything. Gracias. Bye, Annie. We'll see you later. Have a good day.
Oh, I thought you had a question. We're just going to keep the guests coming on up. Kira Brewer wants to talk to you guys a little bit about book club this week.
Awesome. Kira. And you're matching as always, so we appreciate that. Clockwork, huh? That looks like a nice one.
Good morning, everyone. So this week we're reading Clockwork by Michael Michalowicz. This is actually our third book that we've read by this author because he is just the business guru, and there's always great information, very, very, very innovative. I'd just like to mention that, a lot of us are working out. We go to the gym every morning. Reading books and listening to really intellectual podcasts or books on tape is a way to exercise our brains. So don't leave that out in your exercise routine. We are Zooming and discussing this book tomorrow at 2 o'clock Pacific time, and you can get that through Element or the Team Up calendar. Are we going to go live this week in the training room?
Yeah, we're going to turn it on in the training room too for those of you that want to join it and be a part of the discussion here. So you'll have that option. And what is Clockwork about?
Clockwork is about how to automate your business so that you can step away and actually have a good quality of life and take your vacations. For realtors, we think of our businesses not being able to be automated. Aaron provides us with KV Core, which is one way we can automate it. Our transaction coordination department is another way you can automate your business. And there still are very valuable things within this book that you can apply to your real estate business.
So since book club is tomorrow, probably people aren't speed readers like you and Zach. Do you guys care if people come that haven't read?
Everybody is welcome. Come and kind of check us out and see what we do. I know it might seem intimidating to read a book every 2 weeks, but maybe come once a month, or maybe come if it's just a book that you're really interested in. Every Thursday, after book club, I post our next selection in our Resolution Realty Agents group. If we need to put together maybe an email with that as well, if someone was interested, I would be happy to let you know what the selection is if you're not really a Facebooker.
I think it's going to be cool to Zoom in from home if you can. But if you're here at the office and just popping by the training room to get cliff notes, even if I didn't read the book, I feel like that would build up some metabolism in my brain to start reading, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you guys cover it at a really high level, and how long do you spend in that training usually?
It's about an hour. If it's a really good book, it's more than an hour. And you can always pop off. You don't have to stay there. We won't be offended if you've got a meeting to go to or a client to meet.
Definitely. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock, you guys can zoom in on the team calendar, join us live, and check in with Kira if you have any questions.
Thanks,
Kira.
I'll pop by, Kira. I'll be there. One big clap for Kira. Thank you, darling. Appreciate it. Let me grab my notes really quick.
All right. I'm going to give you guys a little tip. I've had the question a few times in the last few weeks on, can we waive contingencies? Can we waive due diligence? We can't get our offer accepted. Can we waive the appraisal contingency and still do an appraisal gap? And so you guys are out there writing these tough offers, and I want you to be aware of the liability of that. And so when you're encouraging your clients to completely waive due diligence, agents are starting to have some issues with the division because you're advising them to go ahead and waive their due diligence. That's okay. They can waive that due diligence, but they need to know what that actually means. That means they're accepting the property as is. They don't want to do any inspections. They're good to go. And they're willing to risk losing that earnest money deposit if they're going to waive it altogether. And my advice to you guys is if you're going to be waiving it, if your client's going to waive it, definitely get that for your protection, get a home inspection form signed with the correct box of I choose not to. And then just go ahead and reiterate it with an email to your client saying, we discussed the home inspection, you chose not to do the due diligence against my advice. could you just send me a quick email return that you agree? You can just let them know your broker requires this, because now if they decide later that they're upset that they didn't do their due diligence, you've got the proof that you did advise them to do that, because agents are going to start getting more issues with this. Now, we also talked about, did you want to add to that?
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna let you.
I
Well,
was going to go to appraisal, so.
no, don't then. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to chime in here. Why are you guys writing offers where you're waiving the home inspection? Why would you waive the home inspection? Yes, Sonia.
Because the buyer does not want one no matter what, even if you tell them you highly recommend you have.
Okay. What is another reason why I want to waive my home inspection when I'm submitting an offer to a seller? To get an acceptance. You have to write strong offers in today's market. So everybody's either reducing their contingencies or waiving their contingencies. Now there's a way to do both. What Annette just said was one option. Another option is I would tell my client, hey Bob, let's write an offer, let's do the home inspection, but tell the seller the property is sold as is. Okay? The home inspection still gets done, and the seller knows the property's being sold as is. So it's the same strong offer. I just want to get a home inspection report to make sure there isn't some foundation issue or a structural issue or something like that. Because if you don't get a home inspection and something pops up, they're going to come after you. You're the guy, I don't care how much you wrote or how many disclosures you signed and how many emails you sent covering your ass about waiving the home inspection. When that pops up, they're going to come after everybody. So it's really easy. You just do home to be sold as is, whereas subject to an inspection. And when they see that, you're covering your client, you're getting a home inspection, and it's still a strong offer to the seller, telling the seller, hey, we just want to get it to have it in our back pocket. Everything else is good. We're moving forward. So that's a recommendation in today's market that I think you guys should be using. Mr. Kevin Wool.
I'm going to piggyback on that. If you guys don't do an inspection or the buyer doesn't do an inspection, the warranty will not cover if like 2 days after they close, they come back and say, oh, my air conditioner's not working, because we're going to defer to that homeowner's inspection. So exactly what Aaron's saying is take it off, but still do one, because you can still submit that to First American and we will cover that item as long as it came back clean.
It's a great point. So in a 10-day due diligence period, you guys are doing your home inspection. You can shorten it all the way down to say, I just need 1 day to do a home inspection and that's it. And it's as is, I just need to get it for my file. You can tell the sellers that in your offer, in the additional terms, to keep the strength of your offer intact. Because that's all we're going to talk about this year, is how to get offers accepted because of the competition, the multiple offers, and the low inventory. What would you like to talk about appraisals?
Can we do an appraisal gap and have an appraisal contingency?
Wow, I don't even know what you're talking about. That sounds stressful.
Does anyone know the answer?
What do we want to do?
You want to do an appraisal gap, but you also want to keep the appraisal contingency in place.
Yes, you can do both, but you have to write it a certain way. And how would you write that up?
Well, I wouldn't do both.
Okay?
I wouldn't do both because they counteract each other. And so if you're going to do an appraisal gap, you are going to plan on possibly renegotiating again, so you need your contingency in place. So how would you write it up?
Well, I would say I will purchase this property with a $20,000 above appraised value gap. That means if it appraises for $300 and we're in contract at $320, I will make up that $20,000 difference. That's what we write in the appraisal contingency gap. But I also want to give myself enough time to get the appraisal done, so that's an appraisal contingency for 14 days. Would that work?
That would work.
That's what I meant. That's what we should do. Sonia, what were you going to say?
I usually do on my contingency a regular appraisal contingency, and then if you're paying a gap, buyer to pay up to $10,000 over appraised value in the event appraisal comes in low, not to exceed purchase price. So then this way it covers
Correct.
So it doesn't give the seller time to opt out.
Correct. So that was a lot, and you guys got to pay attention to that stuff going forward and talk to us a little bit more about it, because appraisal gaps and those contingencies are a thing that's going to be around for a long time. And when you say I'm going to pay $320, I will pay up to and not to exceed $320, because you never know what those numbers are going to look like when they come in with the appraisal, and you're guaranteeing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 of your money to a seller, and then it can go sideways very quick. Michael Bixler.
What I heard you first say was, can you waive the appraisal contingency and write an appraisal gap?
Right, yeah,
Can't happen.
we weren't communicating well. Thanks, Mike.
Gap means nothing.
Correct.
Unloading the gun and then trying to shoot it.
Yeah.
It's like unloading the gun. It's just a bigger gap.
So if you guys, and that's a great point, if you're
Yeah.
going to waive the appraisal, it has no bearing on that contract anymore. You could still do an appraisal just to have that on file for you, but you're telling the buyer, or you're telling the seller, hey, we're waiving it. We don't care what it comes in with, if it's short or if it's over, no matter what. I got the money to bridge this and get it done because my loan's X and my down payment's this and I have funds in the bank. So you can waive it, but I'd still recommend getting one anyway to have on your file.
Yeah. Any questions on that? I know you guys are writing these tough offers, and I want your offers to be competitive, but at the same time, make sure your client understands the risk that they are taking, because if they don't understand that, then later, guess who they're going to blame? You, every time. And so just to keep you guys safe, and you can get those offers accepted with some of these things, and definitely come talk to us if you're wanting to get a little more creative in your offers.
Yeah, it's getting really tough, guys. I mean, and there's a lot of competition out there with out-of-state buyers coming in, and they're going big with either cash or big down payments, and they're waiving a lot of their contingencies. Corley, you've seen this in past markets, but would you say this is probably one of the toughest markets we've seen yet?
For sure.
And how long have you been in business for? 15 years? Okay. It's tough, so you have to learn how to write your offers extremely strong. We're going to harp on it every single week and keep talking about it because of the inventory levels in the competition.
Yep.
Okay?
I have a couple updates. Or Amy, did you have something to say?
Well, I was going to say, and just don't assume that appraisal is going to come in low, because one of the houses that I just closed on, that appraisal came in 10 grand higher than our contract price. So making sure you have that ceiling of not to exceed X number of dollars is very critical.
Yeah,
is critical.
sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to the actual value that comes in on your offers as well, guys. You can look at comps, and an appraiser could bring it in high, and an appraiser can bring it in low, and we've seen some of the worst. And this is something to note too. If you do have an appraisal, and it goes sideways, and your client or the seller wants you to fight the appraiser to change the value, don't even waste your time. Okay? I've had thousands of appraisals come in low over my course of my career, and every single time I tried to fight them with value dispute, reconsideration reports, comps, everything I sent in, the appraiser goes, nope, that's the number, I'm sticking to it, kick rocks. And it usually takes you about 2 weeks to get that response, and it's been no every single time in my career.
Same for me.
You just change your lender.
Or,
Start
no.
over.
Yeah.
Pay for another appraisal, but if
Yep.
it's really bad, not as if it's been really
Yep.
bad before,
If it's a
you
bad,
just start over.
if it's a bad appraisal, you just got to start over, like Corley said, and get an entirely new appraisal, and maybe even move that loan over to another lender. And if it's an FHA loan, it will stick to the property for 4 months.
And nobody has the cash, if they're FHA, like, they usually don't have extra cash to come up with it, so it's
Yeah.
like, okay.
This is true. Are we moving on to some market stats?
Hold on.
No?
You get a minute. Kevin will come on up. He's got a quick update that he wants to share with you guys. Kevin Wool from First American.
Here you go, sir.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing fantastic.
Great.
Let's see. So, can you waive the home warranty?
No.
Absolutely, you can. But here's the deal. We allow up to 60 days after close to pay for it. So, talking about clean offers, we've talked about this before. You can waive the home warranty, but they need the home warranty. So, in that case, what you're going to do is you're going to have them come to me after. We'll set it up just like a normal real estate plan, and we'll close on it after close. So that's just one extra little tidbit on home warranty. You can learn a lot more about home warranty if you come see me next Wednesday in the conference room for Home Warranty 101. We're going to have some food. We're going to chat. We're going to answer all your questions. I hope I have a lot of you in there, and I look forward to seeing you because this is information overload this morning.
All right.
It is a lot.
One big clap for Kevin, guys. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, some quick updates, then I'll let you talk about your stats.
No.
I know you're just itching. Mojo Dialer is up and running with some new features with FSBOs,
Expired.
expireds, non-owner
Withdrawals.
occupied. What?
Withdrawns.
Withdrawns. So you've got a lot of great leads that you guys can jump into. If you have not taken the class in Element, take the Mojo class, come see me. I'll give you access to it, and you can start using the dialer for those lead sources.
Absentee owners, neighborhood search tool, right? We can just pinpoint one location like a new listing. It'll pull up all the names, numbers, and people in a 1 mile radius, and then you can dial right through them at a click of a button. And you can leave voicemail drops, and then when those people call you back, they go right into your KV core. It's super cool.
It is super cool. I know a few of you have been using it. The dialer has been, the calendar's been filling up, so that's awesome. Good job to all of you guys that are having success with that. KV Core training today, 1 o'clock in the training room. Bring your questions. I have a list of things that I'm going to go through and show you some cool tips that you can use this system for. I really hope that you guys all come to this, because if you're not using KV Core, I don't know what's wrong with you, because that system is amazing. So come to class 1 o'clock today.
And that might have mentioned for your entire platform for real estate is KV Core. If you're new, if you're just in the business a couple years, or if you've been in the business for 20 years, there's always something going on that you can learn and build on your database. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but every day, I post a training video that came directly from KV Core on the private Facebook page, and it's all about growing and leveraging your business. So you don't even have to hunt down the tutorials. I'm popping one in there every single day for you guys to take a peek at, to learn how to leverage KV Core for your business. They're awesome articles. They're for sellers and they're for buyers. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page for that, guys.
Tomorrow we have ERS training at 9:15, and we will be doing that in the training room together. And you can also join via Zoom on the team calendar. We have headshots from 10 to 12. So if you need to get your headshot updated, $50 a headshot. That will also be in the training room. Nerds to Go will be here tomorrow from 1 to 3. So if you need your computer set up to be able to print here in the office from your laptop, come in. I'll have a sign-up sheet at the front desk. It's first come, first serve. And so he'll go down the list of who was here first.
Sonia, what time is that tomorrow? 1 to 3. Nerds, you got to get your computer fixed. Just making sure you remember. Oh, now it's working.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Never mind, guys.
Book club via Zoom, 2 o'clock, also on the team calendar. And tomorrow we have boot camp. It's at 11 o'clock. And so we're going to be going over the listing agreement. And so that will be at 11 o'clock tomorrow in the training room. And Jennifer will be teaching, Thursday. I said tomorrow. You guys heard me wrong. Thursday at 1 o'clock, Jen will be teaching her SWBC class. Old habits.
You know, the whole
I got it right up until now.
the whole Monday, Tuesday thing's throwing us off, you know.
I know.
Monday.
I'm completely off my schedule. I lost an entire day. I don't know what to do with myself. Aaron, do you have some market stats to talk about?
All of the training will be in the Team Up calendar, so it's okay. It's at your fingertips. And yes, I want to talk about market conditions, inventory, supply, where we are at, where we are going. And I'm going to quiz you guys, because you see me standing here every week, and I go through these numbers, and I regurgitate them to you. I just want to see if you guys are listening to me. So, quiz number 1. It's an easy one. How many homes is a stable market in Las Vegas with equal supply and equal demand over 12 months, where equity in a normal market would just increase 3 to 5% over 1 year? Jeff, go, sir.
10,000?
Very close. Jonathan. Very close. You are all very close. 12,000 homes. Okay, on 3, let's all say it. 1, 2, 3. 12,000 homes is a stable market, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And we've seen those markets in the past. Now, how many total homes are on the market if you include single family, townhomes, and condos as of today? Close. We had 2,300. Jonathan. My man nailed it. 2186 is the amount of inventory on the market right now. So, keep this in mind. 12,000 homes is what? Okay, how many homes we got on the market right now? Say 2,000. Make it easy on your brain. Okay, which means we're in a huge, huge seller's market, right? Okay, now out of those 2,000 homes, guys, how many of those 2,000 homes do you think are just single-family homes? 1,800. Close, not 1,800. It's a little bit lower. Jonathan. Close, 1,600 homes. Okay, Jennifer, you're right. You get the gold star today. Okay, guys, if we have 2,000 homes, how many of them are single family? On 3. 1, 2, 3. 1,600. Okay, so if I'm talking to somebody and they're asking me what type of market it is, or a buyer I'm talking to, or a seller I'm talking to, these are the stats that you have to control in your conversation to help guide your client to the next step of working with you. If I'm going to sell my house, the conversation is going to be low inventory, I can price your property high, we'll get multiple offers, and I can sell it within a week. Great, that's a seller. A buyer, on the other hand, would jump over to the other side of the fence. If you're trying to buy this house, there's going to be 20 offers on it. We got to write a super clean offer. There's only 1,600 single-family homes on the market, so I need you to come in very strong. Two totally different conversations, but the market conditions still remain the same. These are the conversations I want you guys to have with your clients. See if I have any more quizzes for you right now. So I'm going to throw back a little information from 2021. Our inventory has been decreasing since October of 2021, week over week over week over week. So what we've seen and what we're going to forecast for the rest of this year is that the inventory is still going to decrease. I just said 1,600 homes. What happens when it gets to 1,200 homes and then it gets to 800 homes? We've never seen that in the history of our market, and it's real. But there's new construction out there, and the listings are starting to come in, but the inventory is still remaining low. So I'm going to throw a couple more stats at you. The total new listings has increased in the last 3 weeks. Coming off the holiday, the listings went from 700 to 900 per week. It's good to see the inventory coming back, but with that increase of inventory, we also saw the buyer demand just come in and put it all under contract. So we had 1,000 units go under contract in the beginning of the year, and now we saw 1,400 properties go under contract within 1 week. So the demand is also increasing as that inventory is coming in. So what I feel is happening is there's a backlog of buyers, right? Buyers are just lining up for properties right now, and it's staying extremely, extremely competitive. So I think now is a great time to do open houses because all those buyers got to run over there, look at it, and try and submit their offers. So if you're not doing open houses, shame on you. I think it's a great way to build your business, and we have an amazing open house system here that does have to work for you. So guys, please look into that. I'm going to break down the segments. How much time do we have right now? Are we over? 1 minute? I could break down all the segments in negative 1 minute? I'm gonna borrow 2 minutes for this. How many homes are on the market under 275? 16. How many homes are on the market between 275 and 500? Easy, guys. It's not that bad. 600 units, okay? And so 275 to 500, there's 600 units available. June of last year, there was 2,700 units available. Let me go back to 275 real quick. Under 275, there's 16 units available. In June of 2021, there was 900 properties available. Guys, it's not even a year ago, okay? From 500 to 999, there's 771 units available. Last year in that price range, there was 1,200 units available. In the, let's say the million plus range, 312 units available. Last year, 600 units were available. So even though last year was a tough seller's market, this year is even tougher. So you guys got to grind, you got to persevere, you got to be smart on your contracts, and you got to create listings. You got to find the inventory. Out of all that being said, and I'll end it at this, even though all that inventory is low, we closed 3,349 units in the January of this year, which is, 3,349 in January this year. Last year it was 3,164, and the year before it was 1,875. All that being said, even though the inventory is coming down, there's more contracts and more closings month over month. And this will be a record-breaking year with more units closed this year than history. Okay? So the business is out there. Be smart. Listen to what I'm telling you guys, the spreadsheets and elements, so you can look at all of these market stats. I'll keep bringing them to you. Andrew, you have a question from the Zoomers at home?
Yeah, they wanted to know how many again between 500 and 999?
771 units available.
What was the one under Sorry.
It was 275 to 500.
275 to 500, there was 600 units. Under 275, 16 units.
Do you still think it's going to be 15% appreciation?
With those numbers I'm looking at, I would think it's going to be even higher.
A lot more than that.
Yeah.
So too.
Think about it. Last year, we had double the inventory, and prices went up 15, 20% across the valley anyway. We have half as much inventory with more competition, with more offers, and more people paying over appraised value. What's that going to do? Exactly. Driving up the prices. It's real. It's happening. Arizona, California, still seeing the same statistics. We can go down to a week supply. At one time, Arizona had 1 day supply on the market last year. 1 day of supply. We've never seen that stuff. But it's okay, guys. I've navigated every single market in the world, in Vegas here, short sales, foreclosures, low inventory, high inventory. I will keep us on the map. We will keep grinding through it. It's just reality, so soak it in, work with your buyers, and be smarter. And Corley has one final question before Annette burns you with her eyes.
I'm sorry, I'm actually zooming on something too. There's like a meeting that started at 11. So anyways, I'm reading a lot of articles that are saying like stock market, like it's going to crash, like it's poised. This is the time it's going to crash. All the Wall Streeters are like getting ready for that. So in the event that there were to be some kind of a crash, like how can we talk to our clients about that potential or what you see happening?
Any financial advisor right now would tell you to pull your money out of the stock market and put it into real estate. It's the only two places to invest for long-term gains and wealth. So that's what I would watch. And it's a volatile market. There is a war of maybe happening with Ukraine. There's a ton of stuff going on with Bitcoin. There could be a stock market crash, but when does the stock market crash the real estate market? Very rarely. COVID didn't crash our market. It made it what it is today, which is a strong seller's market. So I moved my money from my portfolios, and I bought 3 rentals this year. Already, I'm moving my money. You got to be ready to go while you're watching this stuff. And with the increased rents and the new loan programs FGMC has, this is what people are going to be talking to you about. So you have to be smart on what's going on with Wall Street and the stock market. Takes 10 minutes to Google and check in on what's going on over there and keep that in your back of your pocket, right? All right, guys, have a great week selling. Thank you for attending. I appreciate all you guys. Let's get some jams going, Ryan. Pump it up.